we didn't never got a rhythm offensively in the first half. Still found ourselves up 6 at the break, and then pushed it to 10 early in the third. I thought we let our foot off the gas a little bit. Defensively, we struggled to get stops. There was breakdown after breakdown. And overall, we failed in 3 areas that we talked about preventing. The transition, the offensive rebounds, and the paint. You just can't spot a team 72 points in the paint. I think it's gonna go in your favor. Obviously, a lot of that's transition, a lot of that's on the glass. Some of that was coverage, as far as those long or short mid-range twos. But bottom line is, those are 3 things or 3 areas that we talked about, negating. We didn't do it tonight. I don't think overall confusion. I think we need a little bit more effort. It's at times, and at times they made tough shots. And those in general were the shots we tried to allow, just to kind of negate some of the downhill. But bottom line, if you can't clean up the glass, you give that team second possessions, you're in trouble. Yeah. Well, the lack of consistency in our play, making shots aside of that, just the swings, and how we approach quarter to quarter, from half to half. It just wasn't very consistent. Yeah, sure. It's always warranted. And that's going to be a thing all season, trying to find those moments when you don't practice quite often, to teach, to kind of take away some of the slippage that we've seen. So a lot of that's film study as a group, as individuals. It's walkthroughs. You don't necessarily want to pound, in live segments, practice after practice, with the stretches that we've had. But at some point, we've got to address some of these things and make sure we clean them up. Mm-hmm. Just trying to find a group. We were struggling offensively, and just trying to find a group that would kind of get us going. Yeah, that would be easy to say. And there's still some things we can fix, because we've seen this group, that same group you speak of, play at an extremely high level. So it's not like we haven't done it, and we just got to figure out why we're not doing it all the time. Yeah, that's whether that's human nature, but everyone has to play that way. Every team in the NBA has to go through a road trip, and you want to call it a reason, it's certainly not an excuse, and that's not one we're going to hang our hat on. I didn't see it directly. I think it was a fan, and I'm not sure what the fan said, but he, obviously took it personal.
Chase.
Hey, Wes, how would you just explain how Derek White was able to go off like he did in the third quarter there?
He just got a rhythm, and, some of that, once again, was the coverage we're in. It puts a lot of pressure on the small, on our guards. And, we struggled to get into the ball, and he was allowed to play in the pocket with a little bit of freedom. There were some transition opportunities where we didn't find those smalls, and then they're walking into threes. So those are certain areas that we can control, and we didn't do a very good job with that tonight.
And Daniel Gafford had another solid night. It seemed like he hit his thumb a few times. Just what can you say about him continuing to play like this? And it seems like he's obviously playing through some pain.
Well, it's a great thing to see. He's starting to, I think the game's slowing down for him. He understands, where he needs to be. He's making plays around the paint on both ends of the floor. So he's impactful. Obviously, he's going to play through it. I don't think there's anything structurally wrong. It's just a pain threshold, and the way he plays, and he's going to be playing in traffic in the paint. There are a lot of bodies colliding. It's going to get bumped. So, I give him credit for trying to play through it. And at times, I'm sure it's difficult for him to catch and finish, in traffic with that contact.
And you mentioned earlier the 72 points in the paint. Just what was the common denominator there?
I think a lot of it was the transition. A lot of it was the offensive rebound, and some of it was the coverage.
Neil?
Hey, Coach. I know in the grand scheme of things, it's not really important to the game, but Denny's 3 fouls, it seemed like he had varying degrees of disagreement with it. One, do you have to ever have a conversation with him to say, hey, the refs are gonna make calls sometimes, you got to put it behind you, or does he already maybe do a decent job of short-term memory?
I think that kind of wavers, at times. I think it's human nature when you feel like you're you're not fouling someone, they call it. But, to your point, you can't dwell on it. They're not changing it. So, figure it out, understand, obviously, what went wrong. Try not to repeat that, but you got to play through it. It's bottom line on both sides. If we're not getting calls in the paint, you have to play through it.
And is there anything you're willing to share about your embrace with Coach Pop at the end there? It seems like you guys, talked for a few seconds.
He was very encouraging. I mean, it's to his credit, he doesn't have to do that, and he was very encouraging.
Thanks, Coach. Safe flight back.
Thank you.
That's it, Coach. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate your
First, praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I don't know, I think it was just the end of the third. In the third, they went on a big run. They led into the fourth. And they were just putting a lot of pressure on us on the offensive end, just getting down, getting into the paint. They scored, 39 points in the third. I mean, that can't happen, Obviously, it starts with our starters getting out to better starts. And granted, I think we did a good job. I think for a minute, we were just kind of trading baskets, and it was like whatever team started defending first was going to win. Then all of a sudden, we stopped moving the ball a little bit, and offensively, we kind of got out of what we do. And then defensively, we just weren't guarding with enough effort.
What's how piggyback off that? Mainly just defense. We gave up a lot. And like you said, we gotta take more pride on that end and give a great effort. Just making multiple efforts. I feel like we didn't make multiple efforts. It was on the glass, all 5 of them. We didn't box out enough. They got, I think Curtis had like 9 offensive rebounds. But then it just was a lot going down there and no help.
Yeah. It's a little disappointing, honestly, because we should be 4-0. We know the 2 games we lost, we more or less kind of beat ourselves. And granted, there's no disrespect to them, but we know we could have won those games, and we shot ourselves in the foot. Granted, we got 2 out of the trip, but it should have been 4 or at least 3 and 1. So, you take them, but still a little disappointed. Yeah. We have to be better. Obviously, it's kind of like the same thing we've been saying over the last few games. Like, we got to take more accountability. Obviously, starting with me being a leader, I have to hold myself accountable on the floor and doing things that we do, and making sure my teammates are ready to go from start to finish, and making sure we get off to a better start in the third. But more or less, we gotta accept challenges individually a little bit better. We do have a group of vets who, we should know what's going on. We should know how to hoop. We should know how to win games. And I think we kind of, like you said, we have those inconsistencies and those mishaps way too much. And I think we have a good group who can buy into it and lock in and turn it around. But we we got to realize what type of team we can be. We can be really good. We can be really good, but we gotta stick to what works. We can't get tired of doing the right things over and over again.
I mean, it's gonna occur a lot. I mean, we still new to each other. This is a whole new team. But our communication still just got to get better. So, it's all about the communication and just the effort that we giving.
Chase.
Yeah, question for Brad. You guys, when it comes to points in the paint, defending the paint, have passed some pretty tough tests this year. The Grizzlies, you guys did really well. Against the Bucks, you did really well. Those are two good teams at that. When you guys are defending the paint well, kind of what are the common denominators for your defense?
Physicality, being physical. And I think that starts with us guards on the ball. Getting into our guy, kind of directing where we want pick and rolls and how guys are driving the ball. Tonight, I think they were a little bit too free. We allowed them to get into our paint and kind of get whatever they wanted. They were getting a lot of floaters, a lot of mid-range touch shots, a lot of layups, a lot of putbacks, offensive rebounds. And so we more or less kind of put ourselves in those predicaments. We got to be better, and then ultimately we got to box out. I think it was more or less about our physical approach to the game, and obviously being mentally checked in and knowing, what guys' tendencies are. We kind of let Derek get hot in that third too. So it's just we have to have a higher IQ of kind of how the flow of the game is going. And but obviously on the defensive end, it starts with our physicality. We know if we're a physical team, refs are going to allow us to play, and we know we're engaged at that point. When all five are locked in and engaged and physical, we all trust each other. We all know the next man's going to be in rotation. We know we could trust everybody to rebound. We didn't have that tonight.
Neil.
Hey, Brad, it seemed like it wasn't necessarily an accountability thing, throughout the game. You guys started fine, but what is the toughest part of keeping that going for a full 48 minutes and having that same accountability after halftime and whatnot?
It's not necessarily a hard thing to do. It's just a matter of just getting the job done. It's not pointing a finger at the next man. It's a collective effort from all of us of just doing a little bit more. We have to give a little bit more. And especially games like this, we can't flip that light switch on. We can't do that. We gotta come out swinging and keep swinging, and understand that, we got the depth, so fatigue shouldn't be an issue or anything like that. Like we got the pieces. So we just got to put it together. I think we'll be fine. Obviously we have to be more consistent, and accountability does play a factor into it. Granted, we were there, most of the game. Third kind of got out of hand, but individually we gotta be better for sure.
And for either of you, coach has talked about, he hasn't fully implemented everything in his offensive scheme that he wants to. Granted, you guys are new, don't have so many practices. Where would you guys say you are in terms of just getting to that level? Is there another? Obviously, you have more steps to take, but do you guys feel like you have everything capable in your offensive tool bag right now, or is it just that slow progression of getting more plays involved?
Honestly, I think it's still a progression because, like Pope said earlier, we're still learning a lot of stuff on the fly, and I think I mentioned this to you a few weeks ago, Neil. It's like impressive that we're able to put together the wins we have with the amount of adjustments we're making on the fly and learning each other on the fly, so we're definitely proud in that standpoint that we continue to grow and move in the right direction. But we also hold ourselves to a higher accountability and standard of knowing we can be better and do better. And we'll do that. It's just a matter of us continue to play. The more we play, the more we get familiar with each other, the easier the game will become. As far as coaching schemes, I don't know. He probably has a deep bag of stuff that he'll implement, throughout the year. And I think we can definitely open up our offense to a lot of guys. You know, we have so many versatile threats. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does, you know, on top of the guys that we still have out who we're trying to implement back too. So it'll be a big adjustment. Like even that'll be another adjustment we'll have to learn on the fly too. So this whole year will be a year of adjustments, but we have the right guys in here to get it done.
Thanks, guys. Safe travels back.
Thank you.
Last question to Christos.
Hello, guys. Hope you're doing well. Brad, what do you say about your team energy-wise, and what do you need to do to maximize your energy as a team in the next games?
We have to create our own energy. You know, I think that's been I would say New Orleans game and this game, it's kind of been our Achilles heel in the losses. We got to create our own energy and sustain that. You know, we understand that it's a tough building to play in, and you know, it's the last game of the road trip. You want to get back home, but you got to really be dialed in and get this game in every quarter, you know, because these type of games can be trap games at times, you know. So we got to be better at being locked in and understanding every possession counts, every possession matters, you know. And I think we'll be better moving forward. You know, this is first big kind of road trip for us and good test for us. But you know, moving forward, you know, we got Minnesota and Cleveland coming up, which will be another two athletic, fast-paced teams who love to get in the paint and really dominate the game. So the challenges keep coming. You know, we'll just have to get better and be ready to go next game.
And how safety for you is to have teammates like KCP, Montrezl, that experienced veteran guys who can adjust, can make adjustments, and can help the team in every way on both ends of the floor.
I think it's important, you know, and it makes my job easy. I say it after every game, like I don't have to do everything. You know, I don't have to make every play. I don't have to, you know, make every shot, take every shot. Like I have teammates I can trust and, you know, get them the ball and for them to make plays. And, you know, and the fact that we have vets who won championships, who, you know, who went deep into the playoffs, the adjustment part of it is easy because they know what to do. You know, they know how to win down the stretch. They know how to win games. So, you know, I'm definitely happy we have all of our guys here, all the guys we added. They're all viable pieces to our team moving forward. And, you know, like I said, they're all vets. You know, they all know what they're capable of doing. We're all men, and we're going to make sure that we're all held each other accountable and ready to go next game.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
That's it. Thank you for your time.